Next month,
It's going to be a nightmare no matter where you are.
Mikhail Havdan-Kolichkowski is with a company that makes an app called Waze, as in there are all kinds of ways to get around. Download the app and you become part of a community of traffic watchers, little beacons of information based on the GPS in your phone. Drive at a good speed and it knows you're moving along just fine. Drive slow and it will reroute you. It's free, it gives you turn-by-turn information, and it talks to you.
In 0.1 mile, turn right.
If something happens on the road on the one that you're on, we'll route you to another one.
Waze is getting right in the middle of what some have called Carmageddon. The possible mess left as this major route through the Sepulveda Pass is shut down the third weekend in July. They've even set up a website, beatcarmageddon.com. But there are lots of navigation apps, so what's the big deal with this one?
The navigation and the other apps, they really rely on sensor data, which are sensors along the highway, and that's traditionally how people get their traffic. What makes Waze different is that all our traffic data is based on users on the road right now.
Tomorrow night we'll take Waze on a test drive and see exactly what it can do and perhaps what it can't. In the Sepulveda Pass, Hal Eisner, Fox 11 News.
So what's the latest as we count down to the shutdown? Ed Lascos is in the hot seat with one of the men in charge of the 405 construction to answer your questions. Ed?
All righty, Carlos, and let's get right to it. This is the fellow who is in charge running the big project on the 405. Say hi to Doug Failing, the executive director over at Metro. Good to see you, Doug.
Good to see you, Ed.
You've been here many Mondays, and let's do it right again. Any chance you're going to change your mind, call this thing off?
I'm sorry, too far down the road. This is a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Lord help us. Run through it again, because a lot of folks, some folks even saying they still don't know what's going to happen. So July 15th, that's a Friday evening, after the evening rush hour, what happens?
Yeah, absolutely. About 7 p.m. we'll start closing down the ramps on the 405 between the 101 and the 10. About 10 p.m. we'll start taking some of the lanes on the 405. And then by full midnight that night, we'll have a full closure on the 405 freeway all the way through Saturday, all the way through Sunday, open by 5 a.m. on Monday.
And that is the key. Monday, 5 o'clock in the morning, the big deadline. And if you don't make that?
If we don't make it, we're in a world of hurt. We've got a lot of things in place to make sure that we're going to do it. We're looking closely at the project, bringing in extra equipment, what we need to do it.
But let's be honest here. I'm going to be blunt with you. I'm sure you have contingency plans if God forbid, you don't make that deadline and things are really in a nightmare situation.
Absolutely, and the key is prevention. You know, that whole weekend, we've got it broken down into 15-minute increments of what the contractor should be doing so that we know what he's doing. We can tell if he's falling behind schedule, and do we need to give him instructions to clear off the roadway, make it safe, and clear it off.
Really? So you have it all the way down to even 15-minute periods watching this thing?
15-minute increments for the whole weekend.
And there's breaking news. I've been hearing that, your big plan was to bring in 2 huge, massive cranes to bring this bridge down, but now the cranes are out. Is that right?
Yeah, actually, looking at it, a little more security for us, a little better option. We're just going to use gravity. We'll cut off the ends of the girders, we'll do a little pounding on them, and we'll let gravity take over.
And so just let these huge beams run down, fall down, but that's why you're going to have all that dirt on the freeway, right?
Correct, absolutely. That 6-foot pad of dirt down underneath is what we need to put down to protect the road. It's a good way to do it, and gravity's always there. You don't have to worry about equipment breakdown.
I was thinking, and I'll ask, somebody messaged on the text, what happens, it's Hollywood, and they're always blowing up things around here, making it look like they're blowing up things. Did anybody come forward and say, hey, we'll take this bridge down for you?
Actually, we did. We got an offer from Fox, the studio side, offered to, wanted to know if they could use some explosives to give us a little hand in this. There's a concern we have. There's a large high-pressure gas line in the other half of the bridge, so...
So you said, no way on that.
Well, we said explosives might not be an option, but we're open to talking. This is Hollywood.
It is Hollywood. I'll make you a deal. They always say make you a deal. All right, Doug. So now we're done, but now you're just beginning, all right? I know you got a lot to say about the 405 closing. So... Doug is the guy to ask. It's your chance. You text hot seat, then your question, your comments. They are most welcome. Don't forget name and city. Then hit send.